Alright guys, shooting the STI Trojan. Did it in 398, 8 rounds. Pistol is shooting really good. We did a few modifications. The trigger is a little bit lighter from last time. Also, grip safety was a factor. Last time was hitting the trigger. We relieved a little bit of metal there. Also, the mag button was giving me a little bit of trouble. When I was loading the magazine, I could feel a little bit of drag, so we fixed that problem as well. The pistol was really rocking. We shot about maybe 400 rounds today, so overall now we've got 700 rounds on the pistol, and she's shooting really good. I'm really happy. Anyway, I hope you guys are having a great time. Enjoy the video. I'll see you soon. Hey guys, this is Miguel from Tampa, Florida, once again talking about the STI Trojan 9mm. If you saw my last video, you saw me shooting a match with this Trojan right here that belongs to a good friend. I like the gun so much that I had to buy my own. I made the same modifications and changes to this one here as I did to Dave's gun. I got about 700 rounds through my gun. Dave has about 1,000 through his. We had 0 malfunctions. This gun totally rocks. It's very accurate and fast. What I'm going to do here today, I'm going to take the gun totally apart and I'm going to walk you through a step-by-step of all the changes and modifications we did to the gun. I hope you enjoy it. Let's get to it. Alright guys, here we are. As you can see, the gun's all apart and we're getting ready to start. I'm going to give you a step-by-step description of everything that we did to both of these guns and the parts that we used. Before we do that though, I like to say that whatever modifications you make, it's your own responsibility. Personally, I say go through a gunsmith and have a professional take care of whatever changes you like to do to your gun. If you decide to follow suit and do any of these modifications, they are your responsibility and not mine. Let's check this gun right here. It's clear. Both of these guns came from the factory very tight, as all the other STI products. Great guns, very tight, and beautiful workmanship. But we're competitors who like to get a little edge and make these guns a little bit faster. So I'm going to show you what I did to both of these guns. We're going to start right here on the slide. First thing that I did was to change the front sight. I'm using a Dawson front sight. Love the sights. I use them on all my competition guns. This one right here is 180 in height by 100 in width. I install the sight. Very easy to do. In fact, almost no fitting was necessary. Also on the slide, I polished the extractor face and smooth out any rough edges. I polished the bottom of the slide right here. Also, that's where the hammer rides, right there. So I did a little bit of polishing right here. Also tightened the slide, I tightened the extractor a little bit. I don't know if it was necessary, but made it a little bit tighter. One little problem that we had with both of these guns was that the barrel bushing was extremely tight and hard to remove. After taking the bushing out of the slide, I noticed that one of the corners here of the bushing was dragging inside of the slide and was very hard to remove. So what I did was I grabbed a stone and I stoned the right side right here, reinstalled it. It was still a little tight, did it again, and the problem was solved. It rotates pretty easily, but still very tight on the gun. We also used an extended firing pin, and it works fantastic. Great ignition. So this is a Dawson extended firing pin. I'm using a 7-pound Wolf Recoil Spring. We tested, the gun comes with a 9, but we went from a 9 to an 8 to a 7, and both me and Dave found the 7 to be the cat's meow. The gun is on rails. As you can see in some of the courses of fire within this video, the gun is really operating to perfection. The barrel came already polished on the feed ramp right here. Nothing really was done to it. The guide rod, this one right here, is not the one that came with the gun. I actually had the guide rod and the bushing right here from an STI Edge. It was brand new, and I felt that the part was a little bit smoother, so I'm using it instead. Not that it made any difference. The stock one is just fine. Okay. The grip safety right here, I had to remove quite a bit of material right there because it was really, you had to really depress it pretty far to deactivate the grip safety. So I took a lot of material there to the point where you just press it a little bit, boom, it disengages. This is for competition, so we tried to get a little edge there. One thing that I forgot though on the slide was that the firing pin keeper here, I polished quite a bit. It was a little rough right here on the bottom, so I polished, gave a nice radius turn right there and polished with, I think I started with 600 and went up to 1,000 I believe. Made it real smooth, and when you pull the slide back, very smooth. So that really helped there. On my gun, I found that the going to the trigger here, that the sear pin was a little bit loose. So I happen to have a set from cylinder and slide, install that, no problem. Let's go to the grip here, grip frame. We're using a Ed Brown extended mag button. Works really well. It's I don't believe it's legal for IDPA, but I don't shoot IDPA, therefore works great for IPSC. One thing that I did do to the button though was that I'm using a lighter spring from Wolf as well. Wolf sells a spring kit for the mag buttons. I think it's called the Tri-Pack. It comes with 5 springs for your mag button, and from a 1 to a 5 I believe, and you try the one that you like, and I think it's definitely an advantage. The magazine goes in very easily and drops perfectly. The mag button was dragging just a little bit, so what I did was I took the mag button out and took the rough corners out and also polished, and that made it really easy to install your magazine. Mag reloads very easy right there, like butter. Okay. Did a little polishing on the trigger ball, but very little. It was not rough whatsoever. Let's see here. Let's go into the trigger. Trigger parts are pretty stock. One thing that I did do though was that it came with a titanium trigger. I mean a hammer spur, and I don't like it. It wears out really fast right here where the pin goes through. So I put a stainless steel. Got it from Brownells. I can't remember for the life of me what brand it is now though, but anyway, went from a titanium to stainless steel. I think titanium are great in some other areas perhaps, but not on the hammer spur there. I just happen to have a cylinder and slide disconnector, and the stock one that came with the gun was highly polished, and the trigger was pretty good, but I found that I just happened to have this disconnector from cylinder and slide, and I tried it and felt that had a smoother trigger feel to it, so I kept it on the gun, and it's got a great trigger pull. On the trigger itself, talking about that briefly, I set the preset at 35 thousandths and the over travel at 45 thousandths. The reason why I do that is because I like to have a little bit extra over travel, so when you're shooting at distance, you know, for accuracy, you don't accidentally pull the trigger too far and hit the back side of the frame and move the gun in any way. So that's the reason why I did that. works really well for close-up and long distance accuracy as well. Good balance there. I like 35 thousandths on the front side and 45 thousandths on the back. Going into the magwell, we're using these new magwells from Dawson Precision called Ice for the single stack. I'm sure you guys know that they make a great magwell for the limited guys, but this just came out a few months back for the single stacks, and they are fantastic. I have them both on my Kimber and also on my Trojan now. Very, very fast. The gun came with a 15 mainspring, and we kept it. It gives great ignition and also great trigger pull. No changes there. So Dawson magwell. Now to go with these, I would suggest their magazine. It just works really well, and the bottom of the magazine hits the magwell, and it doesn't go too far. And as you can see here, actually, let's take this apart. Okay. The gun comes with a extended ejector, and a lot of times if you slam it too far, it hits the ejector and breaks it. Now, the way they did the system here with the magazine and the magwell, it keeps the magazine from going too far and hitting the extractor there. I don't know if you can see there's a little bit, probably 0.5 millimeter gap right there. Really fantastic design. So you shouldn't have any problems with the ejectors whatsoever. I don't believe it's going to break because there's no hitting of the magazine into the ejector. No problems there. We are using a grip called Miltac, I believe, from Brownells. These are very good. They're not too aggressive, but because on the 9mm you don't have a lot of recoil. Let's get back together really quick. You don't have a lot of recoil. You know what? I'll do it later. A lot of recoil on the 9mm, so we felt that these were sufficient. We adjusted the trigger pull on both of these guns at 2 1/4. It started at about 2 1/2, but as the gun broke in, I was able to pull back on the sear part of the spring right here, which is right there. It's your sear. This is your trigger ball weight. That's your sear. So we pull back until it's given us 2 1/4 pounds after break-in. Now, the front part of the trigger right here, when you first pull it just a little bit, the weight's dictated by the center leaf right here. And we got that at 10 ounces, I believe, but the trigger pull is 2 1/4. See if I'm missing anything. Actually, I think we covered it all. I think that's it. I hope you enjoyed the video, and shoot straight and hit your target.